Hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Bonjour, mademoiselle. Konnichiwa. Yo, 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 what's poppin'? What's good? What it do? What it is? What's up? It's your girl Just Being Sade, and I am back at it again with another video. Just playing. All right, but as y'all see from the title, I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna be doing a story time. I know I've been coming on my channel with a lot of vlogs, a lot of get ready with me, all that good stuff. But I decided to switch it up a bit. And yeah, and also too, I'm trying to step up my production level. So y'all not gonna be seeing this door for long. I'm actually gonna be getting a backdrop, and I have my two lights on right now, and then I got a microphone from Walmart. Because I really want to take like this YouTube stuff serious, and I really want this to be like a job. And I don't have all the tools necessarily, but you don't need much to start YouTube. So I got my lights, I got my microphone, I got my iPad, and yeah, you know, and we stepping it out. We moving on up with the production. So y'all just stay tuned. Y'all just stay tuned for the fire content, the better editing. Like my boyfriend, he been teaching me how to edit, so I've been getting a little better with editing. Um, Whoever says YouTube or social media is not a real job, they fucking lie, bitch, because editing is so stressful. Like this video right here is not going to be like a stressful video because I'm not adding a bunch of clips and stuff. But like when you do like vlogs and things like that, where like you might have to cut it and chop some things around and like put the video before that video before that, and it's a lot. Like it's a lot to go with editing. And yeah, so I definitely do look at YouTube and social media as a job. Um, and this is something I'm really passionate about. A little backstory. I actually have like old videos out there on YouTube of me like in like eighth or ninth grade or some shit of me like recording myself and trying to like really do this YouTube shit. But I got discouraged in the process because like a lot of people like they weren't like supporting my dreams, they weren't believing me. Um but the editing, like all of it can be very stressful. But what I realize is when it comes to your dreams and goals and aspirations in life, like you can't wait around for people to support you. Like you have to make them believe. You have to make them a believer of your talents, of your skills, and your arts and your trades. Oh, it takes. I seen a quote on Instagram, and it was like, oh my gosh, this freaking gnat is in the way. But anyways, I seen a post on Instagram that like really stuck to me, and it was like, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. And when I seen that, I was like, wow, like that's really true. And I'm getting it out the muscle. I don't come from a rich family. I grew up in a one parent household. My mom was a single parent. She had me as a teen, so we basically grew up together. I love my mom dearly, and now that I'm older and I am experiencing life more and more each and every day, and I'm on my journey, my spiritual journey of finding self, I'm realizing that, you know, I should have given my mom a lot more grace than what I wasn't giving her as a child. Being a parent is hard, especially being a young parent and you not having help. I mean, of course, she had my grandmother, but from the person that helped her create the damn baby, like my daddy wasn't around, and I forgive my pops. It's not no shot, not no shade, but you just gotta call it how you see it. You gotta speak facts, and you know, I'm a real person, so I'm only gonna speak real shit. But yeah, so I want to start getting more consistent. Consistency is the word of the month of August. And then I just have a lot of cool stuff in store for my channel, for my social platforms. And also I just got signed to a new modeling agency called Beauty and Me. I'm no longer with the Wave agency anymore, and the situation, it just like happened for real, like literally towards the end of July, and it was a lot to say the least. So I think that I'm gonna wait probably a couple of months before I speak out on why I'm no longer signed to the Wave. Because when you guys see me and my Get Ready with Me with the two-piece outfit and I was looking like Princess Jasmine, that's when I was signed to Ocean's Wave Agency. And I don't know if he even has it still called that anymore because I end up seeing that he actually took his old page down and created a whole new Insta for it. So I'm not sure if it's called the Wave Agency, but I know when I was signed to him, it was called the Wave. So, or something around that. But yeah, but when one door closes, another one opens, and now I'm signed to Beauty and Me, and I'm just really, really excited to show them what Sade McEntee brings to the table and really get better at modeling because my ultimate goal in life is to be a wife, a mother, a supermodel, and an entrepreneur with my own cosmetic line and to be a successful YouTuber. I'm not looking to come on here to be the top YouTuber. I'm not looking on here to get millions and millions of followers. I mean, of course, if the divine blesses me with that, I'm forever grateful. But I just, I just want to stop working. I just want to stop working a 9 to 5, and I want to inspire people. Like, if I can do it, you can do it too. You know, and yeah. So, anyways, enough of my little rant. You know, and the little life update that I just randomly just threw in there. Well, not really random, but it didn't really have nothing to do with the story time. But yeah, so anyways, so let's get into the story time. I'm going to title this story Fifth Grade Betrayal. So let's get into it. Get your popcorn, your wine, your water, your juice, your tea, your rolling tray, and just watch me because the story is going to be juicy. Okay, so basically, I used to go to this school called BARF, not like that BARF, but it was spelled BARTH, but it sounds like, vomit, barf, whatever, puke. But anyways, I went there because my mom, she ended up moving to these apartments. And I was so mad when I found out we were moving because I did not want to leave my old school and I did not want to leave my friends and things of that nature. But I actually end up meeting like cooler people at Barf than I did at my other elementary school, which was Wick. So that was pretty nice, but it was just the fact of like, me being a youngin and me having to like start all over basically. Um, so I was just like real nervous about that, but I did make friends like fairly quickly and things. It was uh, a predominantly white school, I will say. Um, The school was in Romulus, by the way, but it was a predominantly white school. Like it was black kids that went there and like different races, like Mexican, Arab, like things of that nature. But it was mostly white people that went to that school. So, anyways, I had this diary, right? And I had this diary, and I used to write everything in it. And I actually have a diary now. But where I effed up was I brung the diary to school. Why I did that, I don't know. I was young, immature, not thinking. I had shared lockers with this girl. I'm not gonna say her name for legal purposes. We do follow each other on social media, but we're not like friends. We don't talk, we don't hang out. So I don't know if she would feel comfortable with me saying her name, so I'm just gonna call her A. So A and I were sharing lockers. Me and A were at odds at this time because how do I put this? A was like kind of fast. Um and I feel like to a certain extent I was fast as a child too. But it's like levels to it. And she was just a little too fast. And she was also like a bigger girl or whatever and stuff like that. And she stayed with her grandma. So she didn't like live with her parents or anything like that. And if she didn't live with her grandma, she lived with somebody because I know for a fact she didn't stay with her parents because she had told me that. So we end up doing like volunteer work. We were helping out like the kindergartners and stuff like that. Like we was cleaning up the classroom, helping the teacher grade papers, um, telling the kids that recess is almost over. You got like 10, 15 minutes. Help just basically helping out the teacher in the class and stuff. Now, I was never a bad kid. Um, I feel like I did get suspended a lot. And I know that might sound contradicting because you're not a bad kid, but you always get suspended. Um, I feel like I was misunderstood, uh, and I do feel like a part of it was like me letting people get to me. Um, and when I was going to school, like WIC and then Barf, like I had one situation, like quick little story time. I got suspended. This boy, like he ran into me with his fucking jacket and hood over his head. He kept bumping into me and I was telling him to stop. This is when I was at WIC at the time. And because he didn't stop, I ended up putting my hands on him. But we both got in trouble because of that. So yeah. Oh, and I forgot to add that he was also crying as well. So I got suspended for that. And then it was another situation too where I got suspended, but my mom would have to tell me that one because I really don't remember that one, honestly. And then I got suspended at Barf. And this was why. So when we were doing those little voluntary like type of when we was volunteering doing the type of work that we were doing, um, I had like some like goldfishes or something in my book bag. And I was like really hungry. And we had been helping them kids all day. And even though I had ate like, I ate lunch and stuff like that, I still was like kind of hungry. So I was about to go in my locker to go get like, my little snacks and stuff. And she was in the classroom still. So like the classroom that we were at and the locker was like literally like right by each other, like within walking distance. Like this the class, this the locker. Only a couple of steps, right? So I tell LaShawn, oh, I almost said her name. I almost said her name. I caught myself though. But y'all might already know what the name is by me almost saying it. But anyway, A. So A. I don't know if I accidentally said her name again. I hope and pray I didn't say her name again in this story time. But I'm gonna just keep on like reminding myself up here. A. Bear with me, y'all. I'm still trying to get used to this content creating stuff. So I went in my book bag. And when I went in my book bag, I seen that like my little snacks was missing. And I'm like, am I tripping? Like I said, we shared a locker. So the only person that could have went in my locker and took my food and my stuff was this heifer. So I was extremely pissed. So, but I didn't come at her like, ah! Like, I didn't go crazy. I didn't go off on her. But I did confront her. So after I seen in my book bag, I didn't have my stuff, I went straight to her and she was doing something in the classroom, like cleaning up and stuff. So I stopped her and I was like, hey, hey, did you eat or touch my stuff? And she was like, no, da 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 da. Something just told me, open her book bag. I open up this bitch book bag. Guess what I find? My snacks. I didn't even think, now that I'm even saying this story out loud, I didn't even think to myself that, where's my diary? I was just so hungry and I was only fixated on me eating and I was not thinking about my diary. Sorry, y'all. Throat was dry. Had to have a little drink break. So, anyways, yes. So I go on her book bag. I get it out. She's like playing Delulu. Like, oh, I don't know how that got in my book bag. You must have accidentally put it there by my. I was just like, okay, eh. Like, that was my exact reaction. Like, okay. And I should have told the fucking teacher, but I didn't want to create more stuff for me because, like, the principal was already on my ass. She was already on my ass. I think she actually has passed away. So rest in peace to Miss Goka. Miss Goka, I think that's how you say her name. Rest in peace to her. But I was not her favorite student. Like she did not like me. She used to think I was fast by the clothes that I was wearing and stuff. And when my mama came to come pick me up because I got suspended and they told her she had to come pick me up, that my suspension actually started now type type stuff. And that was the one of the things that she mentioned to my mom that I dressed fast, but even when I wore belly shirts, I wore a tank top underneath it. I was never going to school like disrespecting my mom or even disrespecting myself, you know? And at the end of the day, my mom was buying clothes for me or she was getting hand-me-downs. Like, so I wasn't dressing fast, but I guess in her mind, ripped jeans is fast. I don't think ripped jeans is fast. I see the stuff that some of these kids wear nowadays, and I'm like, they got on a fashion over crop top. They got on booty shorts, coochie shorts, and she's 14, 13, 12 years old. Not my baby, not my child walking out the house looking like that. But everybody just got different parent styles. But yeah, so she already had it out for me and it was already like little drama that I was going through. It's so crazy when you say this out loud. It's like, oh, this in fifth grade? Yes, girl, in fifth grade. In fifth grade. So, um, yeah, so she was already on my ass and then like I had a situation to where like these two boys wanted me and like they was cousins, but I didn't know they was cousins, and they had got into it and stuff like that, and they was about to fight, and that was a whole thing too. But it was like little drama and stuff like that, and we would try to keep it away from the teachers, but for some odd reason, they would end up like finding out. I think it's because some people like was snitching, and you know how kids is. But anyway, so I didn't even think about my diary. So the next day, right, it's like the middle of the day. It's like getting towards like the time that school's about to stop. Like it was around like probably like 11:30, 12. But in my mama's eyes, that is way too early for her to get up because my mom has always been like an afternoon girly. She's not like a morning person like me. She's more like of a night owl. So when my mama had to come up to the school, she was pissed. She was livid. Okay. So basically, what happened was this bitch went to the principal's office and snitched on me to Miss Goka. And when she snitched on me to Miss Goka, I get called to the principal's office. Well, actually, I don't even get called to the principal's office. My teacher at the time, which I loved her dearly. Her name was Miss Wiersma. I think that was her name. I know it started with a W for sure. Like I'm still friends with her on Facebook and everything. I think it was Wiersma. We're just gonna call her Miss W because I don't know if it was Miss Wiersma or that's another teacher I'm thinking about at Barf. But anyway, Miss W was like, hey, Sade, Miss Goku, I said Goku. I'm gonna just call her Miss G, because I ain't trying to disrespect, like, somebody that passed away and stuff. So she was like, yeah, Miss G wants you to the principal's office. And my heart instantly started racing. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't even know what I did. I had a good day at school. Nobody was bothering me. Like, I was confused. Like, I didn't know what I did. So they called me down to the principal's office, and my mom's there. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, like, I can't catch a break. So she goes on to say that A, seen in my diary that a boy that went to our school, we're gonna call him Ken. So Ken, they thought that I was talking about Ken in my diary because I had a situation. I don't know if y'all remember Tango, like the video chatting app, but I had the app Tango on my phone, and it was this boy that I was talking to at the old district that I was going to, and his name was Ken. Well, that wasn't his real name, but for legal purposes, we're gonna call him Ken. So Ken, right? They thought that I was talking about him in my diary when I really was talking about this other boy named Kay at Wick, right? But because I was writing so fast and it was a little bit sloppy, they couldn't really read my writing. But they basically invaded my privacy, went through my diary, read all my pages, and it said that they thought that it said Ken from Barf flashed me on Tango. And it wasn't Ken from Barf that flashed me on Tango. It was Kay from Wick Elementary School that flashed me on Tango. And I was thoroughly traumatized. Like, I'm a virgin. Like, I'm in fifth grade. I'm in elementary school. Like, and this boy that is in fifth grade is flashing me. Like, I felt so violated. I end up even saying something to his cousin about it because I'm like, what? Like we too young, like to be on that and stuff like that. Like I say, if we like, KISSING, like if we had a little kiss or something like that, or we was hugging each other or whatever, like I could see that. But like showing each other private parts and talking about sex when we're in fifth grade is pretty crazy. So yeah, I basically stopped talking to him after that. But because it traumatized me so much, because I've never seen a male penis before, I never seen that. So when I seen it, I was just like, what the. So I just wrote about it in my diary, but I didn't know that this wench was going to show it to the fucking principal. So she shows it to the principal. The principal calls down Ken. And I'm like, it's not Ken. And even Ken was trying to explain to her that it wasn't him on video chat with me. So she's like, okay, but we're gonna call the principal at the Wick Elementary School District and get to the bottom of this. Y'all is doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all is doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, just suspend me and call it a day. And then they were like, and then my Miss Goku or Miss G and my mom, they were like, you should actually be thanking Ash. I should be thanking her for what? She just invaded my freaking privacy and went behind my back. Me and Ash was already kind of at odds already because, like I said, like she was fast and she was messy. And she would do little stuff like when I liked it a boy or something like that, like she would be like trying to touch all up on them and stuff like that. And she just like was always talking junk and you know kind of mean and yeah, like but she was a really smart girl. I will give her that. Like academically, she was really, really smart. But her personality was trash as a kid. And it's so crazy because like now like she has like a kid and stuff and her BD is in jail. Like funny how life works. Um but yeah, so I get suspended. They called Ken down to the office. Ken's all confused because he's like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't even have that app on my phone. Like, I don't even know what Tango is. Like, what's going on? So, yeah. So, we basically ended up getting suspended. My mom was pissed. She didn't take my phone or anything like that. But she was just like, you want punishment. Like, you can't go outside, you know, things like that. And I feel like from that day on, my mom looked at me like completely different. Like completely different. And I didn't understand why. I don't know if it was because I didn't tell her or what, but it's not my fault I got flashed. It's not my fault I got moved. So yeah, that's what happened. And because of that situation, I ended up actually not being able to go to science camp. Yep. So we had these two events towards the end of the year before we went to summer, before it transferred to summer and we was about to go to middle school. So basically, like I said, remember I said earlier in the video that I was already on thin ice with Miss G and stuff like that. And then people, let me also add this as well. People like the head ups, like the teachers and the principals, they was already informing Barf that, Sade is a handful, which I really wasn't. I was just really misunderstood. And I still feel like that as an adult. Like I still feel misunderstood and I still feel like what I say sometimes goes out of content and that's kind of why I'm an introvert now. I've been hurt and played so many times in my life, and I prefer to rather be alone because I know I'm never actually know. I know maybe like right now, like nobody's home. I'm literally alone. Like this is peaceful to me. Peaceful is like you can't beat that. And I've always enjoyed like being alone and being in solitude and stuff like that. Like I grew up as like the only child. So like when I kept going through like certain situations where people betrayed me, lied me, backstabbed me, cheated, stole from me, when I helped people out, biting the hand that feeds them, like I just been through so many like situations where people have snaked me out and crossed me, but my heart has never changed as a woman, as a goddess, as a spiritual being. I will forever treat people good, and I will forever remain humble and always give thanks to God because I've been through so much in my life, and He is the reason. Well, he slash she is the reason because I don't believe God is just one gender. I feel like I'm a god, you're a god, you know what I'm saying? I'm a goddess, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like we are extensions of God. We are the fruit and the branch to the tree. And I feel like God is not just one gender. I feel like he's unisex. I feel like God is sometimes a male, and I feel like sometimes God is a woman, depending on the situation. But God is spirit, and the spirit within me, and within my people, like it's time to start waking up and start realizing like we are the chosen ones, and we need to start coming together as one instead of being so divided and having so much hate in our heart for each other because at the end of the day, like we do better working together as a team. I mean, all these other races, they work perfectly fine as a team, but when it comes to, the black group, the black community, we don't come together as one. And I think that's another reason why I want to start taking social media serious because I want to find my community and I just want to keep building, building, building. I want to get to the point where I can help homeless people. Like my goal too is to open up a homeless shelter and an animal shelter, and I believe I can do it with just being consistent. With anything I want in life, like it's a certain body that I want. That's why I go to the gym. And I have to stay consistent with that. I have to stay consistent with YouTube. I have to stay consistent working. I have to stay consistent in all attributes of my life if I want to reach that level of success. Um, so yeah, we had two events. I got kind of sidetracked, so my apologies, guys. But we had two events. It was Turtle Cove, the little amusement park, the water amusement park, and then we had science camp. And I really, really, really wanted to go. And they was already telling me like, if you get in trouble again, or if we hear your name like in these hallways or anything like that, you're not gonna be able to like go basically. So I was like, damn, because of that situation, I wasn't like able to go, and I was just so sick because like all my friends and my peers and stuff were going, and they had pictures, they had memories from that time, and I wasn't able to go all because this bitch A. So A, if you watching this, I'm just playing. I'm completely over that situation, man. Um, when I think about it, does it irritate me a little? Yeah, a little, because like I said before, it's just like this pattern of like being misunderstood. Like, how the hell did I get suspended and I'm the one that got moved? Like, what the hell, y'all? So yeah, that is it for the story time, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video if you can. And also, you see that bell? Yeah. I need you to press that bell so you can always be notified to when a real bitch posts some video. All right, y'all. Signing out. See y'all next time. Bye.